Have you ever wondered why some people in their 60s seem to move with quiet strength, while others feel as if their muscles are slowly fading away? Not suddenly, not dramatically, but gently, year by year. Science has a word for this slow disappearance of muscle: sarcopenia. Yet what fascinates many surgeons and physiologists is not just why muscles decline, but how surprisingly simple movements can awaken them again. When we look at the human body through the lens of exercise physiology, we see something remarkable. Muscles are not passive tissues waiting for heavy machines or exhausting workouts. They are living communication networks. Every step, every contraction, every moment of tension sends signals deep into our cells. And those signals influence one of the most powerful biological pathways in the body, the mTOR signaling pathway, a system that quietly governs how muscle fibers repair, grow, and renew themselves. So imagine a surgeon standing in an operating room, someone who has seen the inside architecture of the human body more times than most of us will ever imagine. Over decades of observing recovery, injury, and healing, many surgeons arrive at a humble but powerful realization: the body does not always need complexity to rebuild strength. Sometimes it needs precision. And that brings us to a movement so simple that many people overlook it.
A slow, deliberate *** bodyweight squat ***.
Not the rushed squat done in crowded gyms. Not the aggressive repetition performed for numbers. But a controlled descent and rise, the body lowering under its own weight, pausing, and returning upward with awareness. In that single movement, the largest muscles of the body awaken: the glutes, the quadriceps, the stabilizing muscles of the hips and spine. More importantly, the nervous system joins the conversation. The brain begins coordinating balance, stability, and force. And in older adults, this coordination matters just as much as raw strength. Research in gerontology repeatedly shows that muscle rebuilding after 60 depends on two things: mechanical tension and neurological engagement. When the body lowers into a squat slowly, muscles experience sustained tension. At the same time, tiny stabilizing fibers, often neglected in machines, activate to maintain balance. This dual stimulus tells muscle cells something profound: rebuild, reinforce, and prepare. There is also a quieter biological dialogue happening beneath the surface. As muscles contract and lengthen under control, the body releases signaling molecules known as myokines. These molecules travel through the bloodstream, communicating with bones, the immune system, and even the brain. In a sense, the muscles begin speaking to the rest of the body, announcing that movement has returned, that vitality is still being practiced. But perhaps the deeper insight here is philosophical as much as scientific. Aging is often described as decline. Yet biology tells a different story. The human body is remarkably willing to rebuild, even in the 7th or 8th decade of life. Muscle stem cells remain present. Neural pathways remain adaptable. The machinery for renewal is still there, quietly waiting for a signal strong enough to matter. And a single mindful movement can become that signal. Think about the elegance of that idea. Not domination over the body, but cooperation with it. The squat becomes more than exercise. It becomes a conversation between gravity and muscle, between intention and biology. Each repetition asks the body a question: are you still capable of adaptation? More often than we expect, the answer is yes. And when that realization settles into the mind, when people over 60 rediscover the simple power of controlled movement, something changes. Strength returns gradually.
Balance improve.
Confidence reappears in the way they stand, walk, and move through the world. The body remembers what it was designed to do.